Hey guys, I've had some computer issues, so I wiped out my computer and I'm starting to scratch again. So if this video doesn't look so hot, it's because I'm just trying to figure out how to get it up and running again. One thing I like to say is I did end up getting the new Twilight of the Dragons Epic Collection, and I must say I love the graphics that are on the actual playmat. But the quality of the playmat is not the same as the other ones. I think it's a little bit thinner, and I actually roll up my playmats and put them in one of my Epic boxes. I've got about 4 or 5 playmats. This is the only one that retains, like, it curls just a, I don't know if you can see that, but it curls just a little bit when it lays flat. And it is a little bit thinner than the other ones, so hopefully the next mat that they come out with won't be as thin as this one. I just want to get that out of the way. But awesome graphic on it. I've had some people ask me how I store my cards and how many pre-made decks do I have. Well, basically this is the way I store my pre-made decks. The rest of my cards go in bulk. Those white boxes that you guys must be familiar with. I use the Epic Collection box that it comes with, not to actually store my bulk cards, but my pre-made deck. So if I want to go somewhere, if I want to play, I can just take this whole thing and Bob's your uncle. Now, one of the ways I actually organize this is when you get the Epic Collection, you get these dividers. Now, I don't know if you can see that, it's not focusing very well. But you get these dividers. Now, they're great for organizing your bulk cards. However, they're even better in this particular circumstance to quickly grab the pre-made deck that you're looking for, so you don't have to buy a bunch of these boxes, although they do come in the Epic Collection. I just find that this is an easier way of organizing the cards. As you can see, and it's not focusing, but I have the dividers to divide them into the particular race that they are, and particular class that they are, and then the color of the sleeves that I put them in dictates the faction that they belong to. Obviously red is Horde and blue is going to be Alliance. Another thing that I like to do, because I like to protect my cards if I'm going to be playing with them any amount of time, is obviously I've got these ones sleeved, but you'll notice I just did this recently. I used to keep them in now these aren't worth anything, these hero cards are not worth anything, but I still like to keep them in good condition. So I use a top loader, and you're going to get wicked glare on them, but I just don't like the cheesy penny sleeves that I have them in, which they are still in, but they're inside the top loader. The reason I like the top loader versus actually putting it in a sleeve is because I can flip it over when I have to flip the card. You can see my camera, and you can still see the back of the card. So top loaders are great. They're not that expensive. It's a little bit of a luxury that you don't really need. You can use the penny sleeves, but I like using the top loaders. Now, some people ask me what is my favorite deck to use right now, only because I think it's probably the best deck that I have at this point, based on the games that I've had with it, is my Rogue deck, which is this one right here. And I'll just briefly go through it with you. Let me put this on the floor. Actually, I'm going to break for a second. I'm going to organize the cards. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to show you the deck as it is. Again, this is my Rogue deck, my Horde Rogue deck. I'm going to start with the hero. The hero in this case is going to be, it's going to be hard to pronounce it, Zimzi the Trickster. What I like about the hero on this one, I apologize for the glare. Let's see if I can get the glare off. I can't get the glare off. What I like about this hero actually is it only takes on turn 2 or spending 2 resources, you can flip her, and when you flip her, she automatically gets it says here Zimzi and allies you control with stealth also have assault 1. So she gets at least 1 assault when you flip her, and that comes in handy later on down the road because I don't have that many weapons. But being a rogue, you'll see basically why it's handy. Going into the quests are very, very basic. I've got 4 Tale of Valor. I've got 2 Mystery Goo. I've got 4 Your Fortune Awaits. Now, I don't have a lot of quest cards in this deck, but this deck doesn't really rely on quests. This is more of a poison deck, and so I don't really need a lot of the quests in there as well. I've got quite a few allies. Well, not quite a few. I've got a few allies in here. Sorga the Swift, and I'm going to go basically, you'll notice I'm going to be organizing these from lowest to highest. I don't have a lot of high-end cards in here because I just want to get them on the table as quickly as possible. So I got Sorga the Swift. I believe I have 4 of those in there. I like this one because it has Ferocity and War Stomp. And then I go to Wazluk. When he enters play, he deals 1 fire damage to the target hero. So that's good. This is all about taking out the hero, not really dealing with the allies in this deck. So I got 4 of those. Himul Longstrider. I've got 3 of those in this deck. He also has War Stomp, which is pretty good. Now, if you don't know, War Stomp, when this ally attacks or defends, you may exhaust the target opposing hero or ally, which is pretty good. Stops them from actually fighting. Tharok Foulblade. I've got 4 of those in there. He has +3 when he's attacking an exhausted hero or ally. Kind of works in conjunction with the last card you saw here, allowing me to exhaust other cards. So that's pretty good. Gives him a +6 attack. Sorry, gives him a +3 attack, which makes it 6. So that works out well. The remainder of the cards, I didn't really know what to put in the deck, so I just kind of haphazardly put a couple of cards in the deck here. I've got Noctowl the Savage. He has Protector and Berserking. So he has a +1 attack for each damage that's actually on the card, and he starts with a 5 health. So he can go up to +7, +8 attack before he's dead. I've got 2, and also he knows he's a 5, so I can always sacrifice that as a resource if I wanted to. It's not a big deal. I've got Bomb Headshot. Ferocity, can attack immediately and can attack when it comes into play with an attack of 4, which is actually pretty good. Cost of 5, 4/2. Not the greatest card, but it gives me an attack of 4. That card goes well if it's later on down and I've done what I've had to do with this deck. I got 2 of those in there. Oh, sorry, I've got 2 of those Noctowl Savages in there, and I've got 2 of the Bomb Headshots. Okay, Bomb Headshot. Alright, that takes care of the allies. You'll notice that most of my allies and most of my decks tend to be on the low cost side. I just want to get them out. I don't want to have to wait. This deck is not weapons dependent or equipment dependent. So I have a healing potion, okay, as one of them. Skibby's Pendant. And the glare is really bad on this camera, I apologize. And this, pay 1 less to strike with weapons. Widow's Fury. Okay. This weapon has +3 attack if you controlled if an ally you controlled was destroyed this turn, which is not that hard because most of my allies are pretty weak. I got Fleshwork Throwing Star. If your hero is a rogue, this weapon has +1 attack, and so generally, that would make this a 3 attack, 2 for 3/1, and then another Widow's Fury. Okay, where this deck actually shines is the abilities, and the abilities I chose, they're pretty common, and everyone who plays rogue and is playing in classic, not tournament, will probably use most of these cards if they're a rogue player. Some of these cards, and these span, when I say classic, basically means I use cards from every one of the collections. So, and like I don't play tournaments, so it doesn't matter. I don't care about core. We're gonna start with one of my favorite ones. Well, actually, all of these are my favorite ones for a rogue. Agonizing Poison. Now the trick with these ones here, this is an instant. It says attached to target hero that was or ally that was dealt combat damage by your hero this turn. That's why my hero is very important. On turn 2, I can flip my hero and it has Assault 1. I don't have to put a weapon on it. If it has Assault 1, then I can immediately attack my opponent's hero and then hopefully put this card down on it. Okay, so I've got 4 of those, and really low cost. And what this actually does, if you're not sure, it's an ongoing card. At the start of my turn, my hero deals 3 nature damage to an attached character if the controller has few or 4 cards in his hand. Now that happens pretty quickly. They get less cards in their hand. So this, and these are stackable. Okay, so if you've got all 4 of these cards sitting on there, that's 12 hit points of damage in one turn for doing nothing. With a relatively low cost of 4. Okay, Slay the Feeble. My hero deals 3 melee damage to target exhausted hero or ally. Again, I've got cards in my deck that will exhaust their cards, so this comes in handy. Tormenting Gouge. Exhaust each opposing ally with a cost of 4 or less. So again, this will exhaust at a cost of 1 anything that's cost of 4 or less, and then I can go in there and I can deal damage with these cards here. Okay, so that works well. These are kind of iffy. I don't have really any weapons in my deck, so these cards are kind of pointless, but they're there more or less as a resource card if I can't pull anything else, because they're still usable. Basically, this allows me to pay 2 less to strike with a melee weapon on my turn. Also, it has Death Rattle, so I get to reveal the top 3 cards of my deck, and I put the revealed melee weapon into my hand and the rest at the bottom of the deck. So this actually allows me to flow through my cards. But primarily, I use this as a filler card. More Poison. Another one of my favorite cards. Attached target hero that was dealt damage this turn. At the start of your turn, and it's ongoing. At the start of your turn, your hero deals 3 nature damage to the attacked character. This is a very good card. This is actually from the Drums of War set. So, and I've got 4 of those in there. Bully is my next one. I've got 2 of these. Destroy target ally or equipment with a cost of 4 or less. More or less a filler card, but I wanted some cost of 3 cards in there, and I thought these were pretty good, so I put them in. Primarily get rid of their equipment. 'Cause, you know, you gotta have some cards in there that get rid of equipment or get rid of abilities. If you don't have a few cards in there, you could be a sitting duck. Annihilate. Another equipment card to get rid of equipment. Destroy target exhausted ally or equipment. So I got another one that gets rid of equipment, and there's 4 of those in there, or an ally. And probably one of my favorite cards, if I can stack them, I've got 4 of these in here. Flesh-Eating Poison. Relatively high cost, but it does 5 damage every turn. And if I can stack these, all in all, that's a cost of 20, but I'm doing 25 damage every turn. So hopefully I can get multiple of all of these poisons attached to my opponent's hero, and I really won't have to get into the fight too much with my allies. My poisons are going to do most of it. This is another ongoing card, and that's basically my favorite deck right now that I've made. Again, it spans through all of the sets. It's a classic deck, not a tournament deck, so I didn't pay attention to core rules. But feel free to copy it, try it out, and see what you think, and let me know if you were able to copy this deck and play with it. How did it work out for you? Alright guys, have a good one.